Now at 11, a new police canine for the University of Kentucky. And Solid Blue fans celebrating after a big win for the Kentucky Wildcats in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Well, the Cats heated things up in Greensboro, North Carolina, but we are cooling down here in Kentucky. Temperatures are dropping through the 30s as we set to track some snow showers on the way for your Saturday. Your Storm Team forecast is coming up.
You're watching ABC 36 on your side. News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Paxton Boyd. We begin with a Solid Blue report tonight. A big win for the basketball Cats against Providence in the NCAA tournament. ABC 36 Sports Director Jeff Pecoro joins us live in Greensboro, North Carolina. And Jeff, this one a while in the making, 1,449 days to be exact. The Cats survive in advance.
Yeah, and for a Kentucky fan, that's simply too long. But you know what? When you get into NCAA tournaments, defense and rebounding are going to win a lot of games. Kentucky wins at 61-53, but the rebounding edge, Kentucky takes that by 17. And defense, they held Bryce Hopkins to just 7 points. So huge defensive stats by Jacob Toppin and huge rebounding by Oscar Sheepway, who sets a record with 25 rebounds. We got to talk to Jacob after the game. He says, you know what? You got to respect your opponent, but you can't fear him.
We're going to keep a free mind, but we got to understand that it's still going to be hard. Obviously, the first game's the hardest, but these next games are going to be hard too. So we got to respect them, but not fear them, and understand what we have to do and scout and do what we need to do to win the game.
So, Pax, Kentucky will play the winner of the game going on right now, Kansas State, Montana State. Kansas State leads it by 6 at the half, but still a long way to go in that one. We do not have a time yet for the game on Sunday either. That will be set sometime later tonight. So we'll be back with sports in about 20 minutes. I'm Jeff Pecoro, live in Greensboro. Back to you, Paxton.
All right, let's check in with meteorologist Jordan Smith, now in for Chief Meteorologist T.G. Shuck tonight. Jordan, like you said, the Cats heating it up in North Carolina. That's a good thing because it was pretty chilly here at home.
Yes, it was, and those temperatures are continuing to go down throughout the night. We've dropped it below freezing here in Lexington, sitting at 31, 30 over there in Frankfort, 32 in Danville, 34 over from Somerset, and 35 there in London. Max HD radar and satellite is completely clear for the first time all day as we finally got that rain to exit southeast Kentucky. Now we'll focus our attention to some snow showers that will be on the way for the overnight. You can see here's our hour by hour throughout the overnight, dropping, starting off our Saturday morning into the mid to upper 20s for an actual temperature and wind chills that could drop it into the upper teens. Now, our weekend outlook shows that we'll likely be tracking snow showers tomorrow, possibly even some light accumulations, highs into the upper 30s. Sunday, we'll keep the upper 30s around for highs, but the difference will be more in the way of sunshine. Now, coming up, I'll tell you when we can expect the warm up, and that comes with the price with some rain and storms. Your Storm Team forecast is coming up.
We're following breaking news tonight. 2 people taken to the hospital after a shooting in Lexington. Police say it happened around 7:30 in the parking lot of the Marathon gas station on North Martin Luther King Boulevard and 3rd Street. Officers say when they arrived, they found a man shot. Police say he was taken to a UK hospital with reported life-threatening injuries. A woman later was also found shot. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say one of the pumps at the gas station and a vehicle were damaged in the shooting. The search continues for a suspect. In Madison County, the man accused of killing 32-year-old Jordan Morgan in her home last February was back in court today. The judge setting a trial date for Shannon Gilday for May 5th, 2025. ABC 36's Justin Walker reports.
We're having a very difficult time with the loss of Jordan.
An emotional Wesley Morgan says his family still has nightmares about what happened last February. Police say Shannon Gilday broke into Morgan's home where he shot and killed 32-year-old Jordan Morgan.
You got to understand that we have not stayed in our house since the night that he killed Jordan and shot me and shot Sydney.
In January, Gilday's attorney, Tom Griffiths, filed 2 motions, one for improved living conditions and one for visitation rights for Gilday's mother. Griffith says he was concerned for Gilday's declining mental health. The judge overruled those motions for lack of evidence.
The judge asked us to put evidence on the record before she would have a hearing on that, because that's an extraordinary hearing. That's not something that normally happens. So we're still gathering that evidence.
The judge also ordered Gilday undergo testing at the Kentucky Correctional Psychiatric Center. Griffiths telling ABC 36 that could take months because of a backlog. Griffiths later telling the Madison County judge he didn't think Gilday's case should go to trial.
We know everything about this case that a jury would need to determine, we can determine, and we can explain to the court and the Commonwealth, and we should all be on the same page. So in a case like this, we don't need to have the jury come in.
Wesley, Jordan's father, disagrees.
The Constitution says a speedy trial. We have lost all semblance to the Constitution as it comes to trying people for crimes.
That was Justin Walker reporting. Cleanup efforts are still underway after yesterday's train derailment in Hardin County. The accident happened after a semi-truck got stuck on the tracks in Glendale. CSX says the train derailed after braking to avoid the truck. More than 20 rail cars jumped the tracks. One of the derailed cars hitting a vehicle near the crossing. CSX says the people inside that vehicle had non-life-threatening injuries. People who live in the area say this isn't the first time this has happened.
I've had to jab her and say, look, you look at there. And, this is the second derailment we've had here at this crossing in less than 6 months. So we were just surprised to see it happen again so soon.
Well, the previous derailment happened last year when a train crashed into a semi-truck. The investigation into yesterday's incident continues. In Lexington, the University of Kentucky Police Department has a new police canine. UK officers welcoming Canine Luna to its explosives detection division. Luna is a black lab from the Netherlands. She's about 1.5 years old, and she originally trained in Dutch commands. Well, still ahead, a second Publix store on the way for Lexington, and Ford recalling more than 1 million vehicles. We'll explain why coming up.